Hi guys, welcome back to Michelle Reads A Lot of Fantasy. And if my face looks kind of odd, it's because, yeah, right, this is kind of flamed, like it's swollen up. I'm taking some Advil for it, so that's helping with the swelling. So hopefully by the end of the week I will feel a lot better. I doubt that this will keep me from working, but I kind of want to be well aware that I may get told to go to the hospital. So, alright. So anyways, yes, at the time this video is being done, it is 1:13 in the afternoon. I am going to schedule this to come up today. So, I have a reading wrap-up, a fantasy reading vlog that I already uploaded. And the the other video was like why I'm having trouble finding good fantasy, or I think that's the title of it. This one is a review, so I decided instead of redoing the fantasy reading vlog episode 4, I decided just go ahead and do this review and upload it to appear after those two videos. So yeah. I am going to do that. Alright. So, I did this before, and then I got over 15 minutes, so I had to redo the video. So, I do apologize. Alright, so, this is a fantasy book. This is a fantasy book. And it is the Grimoire Grammar School Parent-Teacher Association by Caltlin. Rozakis. I do, dear author, I do apologize if I butchered your last name. And it says here, a vital addition to cozy family genre. So this is considered cozy fantasy. So, alright, and you're also going to see me drinking some soda. Alright. So, I don't know if there's going to be a sequel to this book because this book came out in May. But I have been actually waiting since May for this book. And I will tell you that the pile of books that I am getting this week will include a physical copy of this book because I really truly enjoyed this book a lot. I really did. So this book has 20 chapters in it, and it follows the adventures of a mundane family named Vivian and Daniel and their freshly turned daughter, Aria. I believe hope I'm pronouncing it right. What I mean by freshly turned, meaning she's not a vampire. She got bitten by a werewolf that had mental illness. So, basically, what happened was the family was out doing family things you do during the summer vacation. And certainly, sure enough, this mentally ill werewolf, or shifter, comes along and not just bites Aria, but almost kills her. It takes the pack, which is going after him, to stop Aria from dying. So, hold on a second. So, what ends up happening is Aria is allowed to go to this school called the Grimoire Grammar School. However, for her to be able to get into first grade, so every year they have to take a test to it's not like typical where you go make good grades and you go on to the next level. Is you got to take a test. You got to prove that the spark that you displayed the previous year is still there. And this goes on 12 times. Actually, 13 times. But for Aria, it's going to be 12. So, to keep her family safe, they have to move to this magical town that was founded by these creatures because, because of the persecution that they experienced in Europe. Talking about like people being burned at the stake, people being staked to the heart, things like that. So they're very, very resentful towards mundanes for this particular reason. So while a vast majority of people understand that the only way that this family could actually move into town is if the Shadow Council allowed them to, they're not exactly happy that they're there. Now, this is not everybody, but this is just a very vocal minority. There's a majority of people that trust the Shadow Council in what they're doing. So, Arya is going to start the Grimoire Grammar School. Here's the thing. She doesn't do well with children, which might be an indication of future events. But one of the things that she noticed, this is Vivian, noticed about shifters is that they're really, really beautiful. They're like very handsome. You get where I'm coming from. There's women out there that love those shifter romances because they're so hot and everything. Well, now we get where that probably comes from. Well, Vivian kind of suspects that her daughter will not be gorgeous because none of, like, Daniel's family are gorgeous or handsome. Vivian's family and herself definitely are not. However, we're talking about magic here, so it probably will happen. She'll probably be like a drop-dead gorgeous girl and everything. Hopefully that will happen. Girl needs some self-confidence in her life. Anyways, so also she has a hard time controlling her shifting. So unlike in books like Harry Potter or the Dresden Files TV show, the werewolves don't actually turn into werewolves only at the full moon. They can turn into wolves anytime they want, but they have to learn control. So while all this is going on, Vivian is deep into the PTA. She's trying to be liked by these women who have grown up in this world, that they're like magical or they're like, creatures or whatever. And it's very clear that nobody likes her. Talking about most of the women don't like her. There's several that, and even the parents, even the fathers, kind of like her. And so she's doing all this stuff. She's got to pay sky-high rent on where they're living at. She's got a daughter who is having a hard time controlling her abilities. She is smart enough to realize that she is in fact a werewolf, but she's kind of having a hard time with it. And so there's supposed to be this thing called the Reckoning, where Arya appears to be the subject, be around her, which makes them even more unpopular with people. And so, as time progresses on, we have things like hellhounds, which, by the way, she discovers that you don't have to be a shifter to be able to climb a tree. But you got hellhounds coming at you. You got a demon at a talent show. You got mages. You got. Here's the funny part: is like okay. If you want to laugh. Look at the WhatsApp what's on here. It is absolutely hilarious. And it all deals with demonology children. Like, a couple of them were like, in a nutshell, your child, your demonologist, could you possibly tell him or her to not summon demons? We appreciate that. It's hilarious. It's literally, every chapter has some kind of message on the WhatsApp thing. Basically, telling parents, no, your children is not authorized to raise the dead on a Friday. Could we please leave that to the weekend? Or all demon raising projects must be approved by the school, or something to that effect. It just seems there's a lot. It just seems like the demonology kids are doing so much weird stuff that the WhatsApp has to remind parents that raising the dead is not considered a good idea and it will not be authorized. It's hilarious. It's so funny. This is a spin on the magical school trope, which became very famous with especially with Harry Potter. Harry Potter made it really famous. And so, if you're a fan of like The Worst Witch or Harry Potter, despite what you might want to not believe that you ever were a fan of Harry Potter, or I don't know, even like Zodiac Academy has a magical school. Like, I know it's a campus, but if you're a fan of places that people go to learn how to do magic, like Unseen University, things like that, you will absolutely love this book. Because the author, it feels like this author knows a great deal about parent-teachers associations. And at the end of it all, we find out that all of this, all the stuff that's been going on has all been done for a purpose, and that's to try to get a boy called Roy into high school. Yeah, apparently lying about abilities is one of the ways you get in. And, of course, the Shadow Council has to come down on everybody. Thankfully for the family, they found a potion that has no side effects and will help Arya out with her shifting, so now she can be a little bit more social. Anyways, so this book came out in May. I've been waiting since May for this book because I didn't have enough intelligence to actually buy it when it came out. Oh man. I enjoyed it. The characters were great. Everybody was bitchy. Everybody was backstabbing. Everybody was this. Everybody was that. I really felt bad for Vivian because she was trying to, here she's got a werewolf for a daughter. She, as her husband buys stuff that you would normally give a dog. Arya's suffering from her own problems, being a kid who, wants to be normal again but can't. You got a pack that is, interested in her as a member of the pack. It's like crazy examinations. Mothers that are willing to do everything in their power to ensure that their child gets into the best, including faking the reckoning, which is supposed to be this prophecy of doom. I do hope that there is a second book in this series, because if there is, I'm going to get it as soon as it comes out. So I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. And yeah. Alright, I will see you guys around until next time. Keep reading those fantasy books. Bye.